Should you buy a home right now or should you wait? Well, the data is definitely saying June is not the month. We're going to take a look at what's going on in our local Utah housing market as well as the nationwide housing market. If we take a look at this article right here, home sellers are now starting to outnumber buyers by the largest margin in 12 years. That's not signaling that it's a seller's market, is it? Now, look at what's going on with inventory. This is pretty repetitive. I've been showing this. Look at this gap. Way more homes for sale this year than last year, resembling what happened in 2022 when the nationwide housing market, the median price in all of America, went down 10%. And here in our local Greater Salt Lake housing market, it went down 15%. We're going to keep analyzing this and seeing what we should do. Now, if we take a look at Florida, Florida's housing market turning down fast. Now, Florida was one of the hot spots where there's a lot of flat land, a lot of new construction, and a lot of people were heading out to. Now, percentage-wise, I've read and showed some articles in the past where percentage-wise Utah has the most new construction. But of course, Texas and Florida, they have many, many more people. They have almost 30 million people. So they have a lot more number-wise construction going on. But in Utah, we have percentage-wise more per capita than any other state. At least that's what it was in 2023. So you're seeing Florida's housing market turning, and you're seeing that home sellers are starting to outnumber buyers by the largest margin in 12 years. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Nobody has your back like Dinko the Realtor. Hit that subscribe button, and when you do need a realtor, remember, my contact information is down below in the description. Dinko the Realtor has your back. And smash that like button. I'm having 1 to 2 dislikes on each of my videos. And it's the same 1 to 2 dislikes. It seems like I'm just having somebody who absolutely, they're committed to watching this stuff. They just don't like the information that's coming out. So smash that like button for me. Walmart workers are sharing photos of price hikes of 38% or more. That deserves a like in its own. And hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm just sharing data and sharing articles and sharing what's going on in the local housing market, in the economy, and the nationwide housing market. And again, this is not me making this up. Look at that. So, I guess I'm going to get a dislike here. So help me with those likes. We'll get to the data here and analyze this. So right here, Walmart. Workers are sharing photo price of hikes of 38% or more. It seems like tariffs are causing an issue. Now, Jerome Powell is not dropping the Fed rate because of tariffs, saying that inflation is going to get respiked. Now, we'll get to that here towards the end because Trump is going to be removing Jerome Powell, it seems like, and be naming his successor. So we'll take a look at that. But anyway, we're going to analyze this data. When should you buy? And again, June is not the month. So let's analyze all of this together here. We're seeing that this inventory has grown substantially year over year. And if we go over here, well, I don't know why it's doing this sometimes. There we go. Actives right here. When we take a look at these actives. Look how many more, this purple blue line. When we remove it and we put it back in, look how many more active homes for sale we have than in years past. And we see that that's going to keep going up for a couple more months, right? Now, if we analyze the under contracts, this is holding true. Look at the blue line. When we pop it back in, it's decreasing. It's showing a decrease in under contracts. So that is staying to the norm of the data. The under contracts are coming down like the data was suggesting. And we're seeing that inventory continues increasing as data is suggesting. So if the data is saying until September, October, it most likely is going to happen. And we might have 15,000 units, which is right up here where this mouse is, where I'm waving this mouse. Look how much higher, how much more inventory that is. Now, again, under contracts are starting to decrease, which means the amount of sold homes is going to decrease. And if we have solds decreasing, under contracts decreasing, and we have inventory increasing, that's going to further and further the gap, meaning that there's going to be more and more houses staying on the market over 100 days, mimicking what's been happening the last few years and mimicking what happened in that second half of 2022 when we saw prices drop upwards of 15% and we never recovered to the May 2022 highs that we saw in the Utah housing market. So right there, that's holding true. Now, we know that they're going to keep kicking this can, each administration. The Trump administration, the Biden administration, doesn't matter. They're kicking these foreclosures to September 30th now. It was supposed to expire April 30th. The Biden administration kept extending it. Here's the Trump administration, which put it in place in 2020 or whatever it was. And now they're extending it. It was 2020 that they put it in place. And then now the Biden administration extended it every single year. And here's the Trump administration. First chance they get, they extend it. And right here, Trump says that the decision on the Fed chair will be out soon. Now, I'm going to go through this data real quick, but what I do is send out an email once a month with inventory, the discrepancy of what's going on, well, the difference, how much more inventory this month is compared to the same month a year ago in the different counties. So make sure you sign up. That contact information or that link will be down below. And then I'm having my annual all-you-can-eat ice cream event. We're going to have cornhole there. It's going to be fun. And of course, the ice cream is on me. I would love to see you there. Make sure you come. I'm going to put that down below in the description, a comment as well, the address. So it's going to be Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. And then that link to sign up for those emails will be down there as well. That way you're much more informed home buyer or seller. That way you know what's going on year over year and how much inventory is going up. So Trump right here says the decision on the Fed chair will be out soon. Seems Jerome Powell's days are outnumbered. However, he is in office, or the chairman of the Fed, until May of 2026. That means Trump has a whole nother year left of Jerome Powell to deal with, who said, I'm not dropping these interest rates. We're not doing this for you. So we'll see how that materializes. However, if Trump does put somebody who's going to be dropping these rates, we see that they keep kicking this can down. We don't know if there's going to be a full out crash, just because money has never been more fake. So if you want to wait for that, you might have to wait into 2026. Depending if they keep extending these foreclosures, you might be waiting until 2027. But if we're analyzing what's going on right now, when to buy in 2025, well, that's going to be starting in July. However, the longer you wait, if we're analyzing what's going on, you're going to have better and better deals here in July, August, September, October, because you're going to have more inventory to choose from. And what's going to happen is a lot more of these homes are going to start accumulating 100 plus days on the market. And sellers are going to then start racing to the bottom. We see that it is happening. Home sellers outnumber buyers by a largest amount in the last 12 years. So we see this is true on a nationwide scale. And we see that this is true here on our scale as well, if we take a look at this blue-purple line, right? And then Florida is just in a, going down extremely fast. And then we have these tariff issues still going on, which means that interest rates are not going to substantially be dropped here, most likely in the near future. So if we take a look at all of this and we go right over here, July is the first month you should probably start considering buying. That's if you want the most amount of homes to choose from that are move-in ready. But we see August, September, October, the inventory stays elevated. And once you get into the September, October, especially November timeframe, you're going to start seeing a lot more homes that are sitting on the market 100 plus days. Meaning you as the buyer, you have more leverage. And we see that the under contracts are going to continue going down. And the under contracts are going to keep falling in the second half of the year. So if the under contracts keep falling, inventory keeps growing until it peaks here in September or October, you're going to, as a buyer, have much more leverage, much more negotiating power on your side. Look, nobody has your back like Dinko the Realtor. When you do need a realtor, my contact information is down below in the description. My all-you-can-eat ice cream event is this Friday from 5 to 8. That's going to be down below. And the email link so you can sign up, and a lot of people have. The ones that signed up after I sent it here this month, I'll try to send those this week or next week. That way you start getting them, everybody that signed up after. So if you sign up, you still have a chance to get the data of what the inventory levels are in the counties, in the areas that you're interested in year over year, comparing the beginning of June to June of 2024.